Hey, this is Ralph. Recording here on during office hour Zoom session, and my plan of action is to work on the homework assignment that we have due for CIS 195. So let me just do some quick checking. I think my microphone is correct. Looks good. And yeah, so if students pop in during office hours, that's fantastic, and maybe they're working on this assignment as well, so we can check out a couple things together. But I'm going to go ahead and get started here. I'm logged into Blackboard already. I'm going to head into the week 1 folder, and hopefully by Friday of the first week, you've gone through most, if not all, of these resources. Maybe there's a couple things you have left to take care of, but in theory, after 4 full days of the term, you've gotten through practically everything on here. You've completed participation 1A and participation 1B. That's cool. I still need to check on those, but I'll likely do that today or maybe Saturday morning or something like that. Okay, so the quiz you've got this weekend, definitely take that quiz twice. Take it once after you've gone through the resources, see how you do. Study up some more, take it again, get a top grade. 25 or 24 out of 25 is what I would expect. I'm going to jump into the homework here. Go ahead and click on these directions. And I'm going to keep these open off to the side or just on my screen here so I can kind of keep jumping back and forth to them. And we actually started a bit of this in our class yesterday on Thursday, but I'm going to go ahead and go through this assignment like I haven't done it before. Now, what I do have prepared already is I've got my working folder, which I made yesterday during class. There you go. So I've got my working folder. It's got an images folder, a styles folder, and it's got that page we made yesterday, index.html, which is probably what I'm actually going to start with and tinker with today, since we do already have that file. And that's part 1 of this assignment, is to make a file called index.html. And that's important because that's going to be the web page that loads up by default when somebody goes to your website. All right, well, let's get it on. I need my code editor. Excuse me. Yep, I'm going to do a yes. Trust the authors. Now I'm really zoomed in because I was doing this class yesterday. So I'm going to go ahead and take a moment and just zoom out a lot. I still want you to be able to see it, of course, on the recording, but make it a little bit more practical here. Let's see. I'm going to do a file open folder just to make sure. I think I'm in the right folder here. 195 working folder, select folder. That's good. There's my Explorer pane. And I'm going to close the release notes. I'm going to close this blank file for now. And this is the index file we were working on yesterday. Now, I've got my live server utility working here on VS Code. So I want to go ahead and click on the Go Live button in the lower right corner. And that's going to launch my page in the browser. Cool. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to zoom in just a shade on this. I'll just make it 125%. And this is pretty much what my web page looked like at the end of class on Thursday. However, I was talking to one of your classmates after I turned off the class recorder, and we were talking about fonts. And so I adjusted my font up here a little bit, as you can see. So my font is looking pretty funky up there, but I kind of dig it. So I'll show you in a minute how we got that font up there. And of course, that topic is going to come up a little bit later on. But that's the start of my page. Otherwise, I'm going to be mixing practically all of this. In fact, I'm going to jump down right now and do that. Let's see, I don't need that little pop-up. Don't show again. Okay. Let's go ahead and delete all the stuff in the body. Remember, the body is what shows up on the browser. Let me zoom in just a shade on that. The body is what shows up in the browser. If the body is blank, then the web page is going to be blank. If I jump back over here, my web page is blank. All right, what do we got going on now? So I am already breaking a cardinal rule. I've got background on I've got music on in the background, and I generally would encourage students to have a good, clean workspace and don't have distraction and stuff like that. But anyway, so I'm listening to some 80s heavy metal kind of stuff. I don't know if that comes through on the microphone or not, but Okay, well, we did some styling up here, which I'm relatively happy with, but let me show you a couple things that I've got going on that we didn't really go in through class. So the first couple things on here, I've got some link tags which I got from Google Fonts. And basically I picked out a font that I thought looked pretty neat and copied and pasted these link tags from Google Fonts, and that allowed me to put in under my headline 1 rule a specific font that I wanted called Rubik Beasley. So yeah, so that's what I've got going on there. And I'm going to take out a bunch of other stuff just so I can redo it a little bit later. So let me delete all of that. I'm going to delete all of this. And I think I'll leave my heading 1 stuff in there. So my page should be looking like blank white now. There's my web page right as it is. Okay, let's double check the directions, make sure I'm keeping up with stuff. Follow along with the resource video about making the initial index web page and testing the VS Code Live server. Okay, create the index file described with a single heading 1 and a paragraph of your name in the body. Okay, cool. So in the body of the page, I'm going to do a heading 1, CIS 195, web development 1, paragraph, and my name. I'm going to be showing you a couple style things in here too. Styles aren't necessarily a critical part of our first week's activity, but they're really helpful. Even though they're not even the official topic until like week 3, in week 2, we definitely want to start using some styles because it'll help us distinguish amongst the key parts of the web page that we create, like headline 1s and paragraphs. Let me zoom in on that some more. Yeah, I guess that's as good as it's going to get there. Okay. Oh, that seemed pretty easy so far. Now, there's probably some more content I need to have on there. Single heading and a paragraph of your name in the body. Won't be confirming success there. And then right the headset. Okay, so then we're also supposed to do an about page. Now, I'm not going to go through the videos and those resources while I'm doing these directions, so I might not be doing them exactly right, but I might put in a little bit more content on here very, very soon. But let me go ahead and jump into part 2, making an about page. Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to keep this page where it's at. I'm happy with it, but I'm going to start up a new web page file, save as, and yep, right into my working folder. This one's going to be called about.html. Now this one I'm going to type from scratch. So .type HTML is our .type definition for HTML5. That's going to be at the top of every web page you create. HTML attribute with language, HTML tag with language attribute. Okay, get some room to work in there. Head section, meta car set equals UTF-8. Title, about me. There we go. Now there's a few other meta tags that I wanted you to get in the habit of doing, so other meta tags. Now this is a good example of those times where I would like it if you type this stuff out, and I'm not necessarily going to know if you copy and paste. But the more you type it, the easier it is going to be to memorize and learn and retain. I know it seems a little bit tedious, but I'm typing it out hopefully as a demonstration that you can do well. You can complete your assignments if you still type stuff out. It does help if you can type relatively quickly though. But I can understand the motivation, or I can understand the temptation of, gee, I just typed this on this other page, why not just copy and paste it over? So you get to police yourself on that. I think it's better if you type it, especially early on, but yeah, I understand the motivation, and I'm not necessarily going to deduct points if you're copying your own content over and over, but try to do it only as a matter of you really are under the time pressure, under the gun, so to speak, and do it that way. But otherwise, I'm going to keep typing here. Got my author meta. And let's see, this is going to be page about me, simple description. Okay. Just kind of curious who's playing here. This sounds like the Motor City Madman and the Supergroup. Damn Yankees. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, those are pretty good meta tags right there. Now, like I said, I still want to do some styles. I don't want to show you the preferred method of doing an external style sheet yet. That's overkill, I think, at this point. So I'm just going to put styles right here in the web page. So now after the head section, I'm going to have my body section. And then I don't need anything in between the opening and closing body tags. Now the About page, what do the directions say? Follow along with the resource video about writing the head section of your index homepage. Do that again, basically. Edit your index page created earlier so that the head section includes elements, create a detailed description of the meta tag. In fact, these directions are a little bit kind of misleading here. Let me see if I can't clean these up. Yeah, I do want you to create a new page here, but it's, oh, there it is right there. So this is where we do it. Okay, yeah. Detailed description of the meta tag. Yeah, got it. Create a new web page about that. Include all the essential HTML. Okay, there we go. I was reading and I should have read through completely. Don't copy and paste. Retyping the HTML will help you memorize the content. True. Update the title and meta description for the new page. Body content for the new page should include a heading 1 and at least 2 paragraphs that introduce you to the reader. Don't get too personal, but share how you started using the web and a goal you have for this class. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and H1. There's my heading 1. I'll go ahead and put in a paragraph here. So pretty sure it was 1997. Former wife. Now let me go ahead and turn on my word wrapping. Alt-Z. There we go. There, HTML for Dummies. So I'm wrapping that with a set of emphasis tags, which are inline elements, which will italicize the text. There we go. So that's my first paragraph. So yeah, so I got a HTML for Dummies book in '97 and started creating a website called Couch Cousteau, which was all about saltwater aquariums, which was a hobby of mine back in the day. Yeah, there might even be a few of you who recall services like GeoCities from the late 90s. All right, that's pretty good. And then I don't really necessarily have a specific goal for this class. However, um, I shouldn't really say that. I kind of always have goals for our classes, but there we go. So I've got a few paragraphs on there. Now I don't really say to put images in. You could, easy enough, but don't copy paste. Update the title and meta description. Heading 1, at least 2 paragraphs. Don't get too personal. Share how you started using the web and a goal you have for this class. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. All right, so that's my about.html. Now we need to get to hobby.html. I need a new hobby, that's for sure. All right, new file, save as hobby.html. Come on, let's type. This is Alice Cooper. That was the last rock concert I went to many, many years ago. I take that back. I've been to other, I guess you can call them rock. I guess that was the last old heavy metal, hair bands of the 80s band that I saw live. It's a good show though. Okay, HTML, language. Okay, so this last meta tag that I'm writing here, the meta viewport, that is basically there so that we can help our pages render well for mobile devices, which is not a topic that really comes up until several more weeks into the term. And but just might as well get in the habit. So far, it is a lot of typing over and over. So again, I understand the temptation just to copy over content from one of your previous files. You do increase the likelihood of making a spelling mistake when you keep retyping it like this, but I still think it's a great way to learn. All right, feeling pretty good about that. I'm going to create a section for styles. Then after the head section, let's have a body section on there. You notice I indented my head section and body section on this page. I don't believe I did that on my about page. I did not indent the head tags or the body tags. It doesn't matter. You just do things that might seem like the page is going to be a little bit easier to read. Okay. All right, well, that looks pretty good. So let's double check the directions now on the hobby page. New web page called the hobby.html, essential HTML you've used in the index. Don't copy, retype. Update the title and meta description for the new page. The body content of the page should include a heading 1 and at least 2 paragraphs that describe a hobby of yours. The hobby does not have to be tech web related. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and put in my heading 1. I don't know. I need a good new hobby. I need some kind of fitness or health related hobby. That's for sure. I'm going to put down chess, though. I've been playing chess for a long time, but I'm not very good at it. I'm like very amateur level, and it's always been kind of a goal of mine that I should really study more and be a little bit more intentional and focused, and see if I can't raise my rating and stuff like that. So my rating is like 1500, which is very, that's a beginner amateur level, and it's been that number for many years. And I think it would be kind of cool to be able to raise that, by 10% or something. That would be a vast improvement for me to go from like 1500 into the 1650 range. That would be very good. But I know it requires reading some books and practicing, maybe even getting some coaching and stuff like that. But obviously devoting time throughout the week to it. So, but I do like that idea. So maybe that'll be my hobby for the fall here. She includes one to describe the hobby viewers have. Okay, cool. Alt-Z to word wrap. Okay, a couple paragraphs on my new hobby. Each paragraph you write will have at least one hyperlink. The hyperlink text, when clicked, will take the user to a website related to the hyperlink text. So, hold on, I'm going to turn that off for a moment, and so I can think a little bit better, because we have to find a website about these things and then make the hyperlinks from here to the website, which is something we did in Thursday's class too. So let's see. I've got a membership at chess.com, so we'll do most of my practice and playing there. Okay, so I'm going to hyperlink over to chess.com. So jump out to the web, new tab, chess.com, and I just want to link to this. So I'll go ahead and copy the web address right from the browser. Pop that in there. Make sure my closing anchor tag is after the words chess.com. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Okay. And okay, Blitz chess is not ideal for learning, so I'll focus on longer games to improve. I'll also see what books I can get from the local library. There we go. So for this, I'm going to make a hyperlink out of this, pretty much this whole sentence here. So I'm going to head over to Deschutes County Library. There it is right there. I don't even think I have to be logged in. I should just be able to type in the words chess. Now, when I type in search in the word chess, the address, the web address that I'm getting actually includes my search query, which means I can hyperlink to this exact result. And let's see, they got books here. Chess, yeah. So they got at least a few books. Some of them, oh wow, that one's a 2021 new book. I like new books. It's even available. I should probably place it on hold after logging in. So first moves to checkmate. Of course, it doesn't matter if a chess book is 2010. It's not like they came up with a lot of new techniques in the past 12 years, 20 years, 30 years. All right, but it looks like I'm not going to have many excuses for not getting some chess books because my local library seems to have several on there, even the Complete Idiot's Guide to Chess. I'm sure I can learn stuff from there too. So even Chess for Kids, I'd be interested in checking that one out too. So maybe they explain something in an easier way. So don't be worried about getting books that seem like they're targeted towards younger people for sure. All right, plenty of books available. So I'm going to grab this address, copy that, head back over to my markup. And I'm going to do ahref equals paste closing quote. And then I want the closing anchor tag to be after what books I can get from the local library. I'll go ahead and do that. So now I've got a whole bunch of words in here. So let's see. Now I think I've got autosave on, so I don't need to be pressing Control S. But let me jump over to my browser. And here's my web page. Now something else I want to have on my website's homepage is I'd like to have a little navigation menu that a user could click and jump over to my other pages. So let me start to construct that. So I'm going to jump over to my index page and I'm going to create on the body here a navigation menu. So I'm going to use a set of nav tags and then I'm going to put in H2. I'll just call it navigation menu just so it's clear to everyone looking at it. This is a navigation menu. And after that, I'm going to do ahref equals about.html, about me, there we go. And then hobby.html. And I guess I'll put my name in here too, so that way it's clear that this is about Ralph, okay. All right, so I've got a heading 2 inside of my nav, and I've got a couple of hyperlinks inside of my nav. This isn't going to look very pretty, I promise you, but I'll show you a couple little styling tricks here in just a minute. Feeling pretty good about this though, because now when I go to this page, I'll be able to click on the About Me link, and that's going to take me to my About Me page. Then I can go back and I can click on my Hobby hyperlink, and that's going to take me to my Hobby page. So you can see that when you're linking from one page to another page within your own website, all you have to do is do the hyperreference with that web page file name, that .html file right in there. So yeah, that was pretty easy. Now, of course, it'd be nice if I had something like this on all of my pages. However, that would be a little bit more tedious to update it, and stuff as I make new pages. So I think what I will do is I'll go to my About page and I'm going to do a little hyperlink right after this that's going to go back to my index.html. I'll just call it home page. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to my hobby.html. And this is going to kind of mess something up there that I wanted to show you. It's kind of neat. So let me do this. I'm going to change my mind about where I stick this. I'll also do a nav tag and do it in here. We're going to be changing these a lot, especially your index page. You're going to be changing that a lot. So don't assume that what you make here in weeks 1 and 2 is going to be how your web page looks in weeks 3 and 4 or 6 and 7 or 8 and 9. Your indexed homepage is going to get fancier and fancier as we progress. So everything we do here is ultimately going to get changed and replaced, especially on that index page. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's see. I'm going to copy that. Now I'll go back to hobby and I'll do this down here, I think. It's okay that it's not indented, but otherwise I could select it and tab that in. Okay, all right, it's okay. So let's see how things are looking now. So I can click on, oh, let's refresh it. Oh, it is refreshed. But my hobby page doesn't seem like it has my update. Because I got that hyperlink on there for index. Let's see, let's go back here. My hobby. Why isn't that showing up? Let's go to About Me. Not seeing my hyperlink there. Let's make sure I'm doing something right here. Oh, this is great. So this is stuff I like doing in class too, just to kind of see what mistakes I made. So I definitely made a mistake here on both my hyperlink to the About page and on my hobby page. So take a second to look at this. What's wrong with my hyperlink here? Here's my hyperlink. What did I leave out that's pretty important? Yeah, I don't have any text in between the opening and closing anchor tags, so there's nothing for anybody to see on the web page to know what to click on. So, all right, you live and learn, right? So I'll just go ahead and put home page right in there. Home page right in there. So now when I'm looking at this, I'll go to my hobby page. There it is, my home page. I can go back to my home page, my About Me. There's my home page link. Click on that. Cool. All right. I like it. Now let me kind of glance through the directions again. I think we got almost all of it. Let me just start from the top here. Make an index page. Describe with a single heading, paragraph with name in the body. Won't be okay. Then enhance it, meta, stuff like that. Make a about page. Heading 1 and at least 2 paragraphs. Okay. Then we have a hobby page. Heading 1, at least 2 paragraphs that describe a hobby of yours. Neat. Oh, you know what I'm going to do on the hobby page? So I'm feeling pretty good about this assignment. Now I still need to publish. In fact, notice on the assignment directions here, we just tweaked these yesterday at the end of class. Excuse me. So normally I don't show you your web server information and how to publish until like week 2, but I gave it to you just a couple days ago. So if you zip your working folder together and you turn that in via Blackboard, that's how you can turn in this assignment 1. However, if you are so bold for extra credit on this assignment, publish your web page to your web space. And that's what I'm going to do here in just a moment, or actually not just a moment. I want to do a little bit of styling first on my page just to kind of jazz it up a bit. So we'll do that. But you can earn a little bit of extra credit points if you publish your page online instead of turning it in as a zip file via Blackboard. So kind of a new skill. This is something you're going to have to do anyway, starting in week 2. So you could start it in week 1 for a few extra points. Now back to my page. I'm going to clean it up here. I'm going to go to this other website that I know about. Subtle backgrounds, I think it is. Subtle patterns. That's it. And I wonder, can I search on here? Is there anything that's kind of chess-like? Okay, maybe not. What about checkerboard? Oh, they definitely have that. Checkerboard pattern. Still kind of boring. Board? Oh, I got cork boards. I'm just looking at a background that I want to use for my web page, I think. Big web page backgrounds are really kind of old-fashioned, but I figured it'd be a quick way to show you what we can do. Wine cork. Let me just go to, oh, that's submit a pattern. I don't want to go there. I want to go to their home page. Let me just kind of scroll through real quick. Maybe something will pop out at me. It's kind of neat. Maybe I want to do a dark color. That could be kind of cool. Just looking for something that intrigues me. Actually, I kind of like that too. It's just kind of a stony, dark, bluish purple color. Vintage wallpaper. I'm going to make a mental note of that one. I might come back to that one. Okay, that's on page 3. Let's just look at page 4, see how that's. Little trees, little waves. All right, I'm going to go back to page 3, and I want this one. So I'm going to go ahead and download this paper, and it's going to give it to me in a zip file, so it doesn't really matter where I save it at first. So let me just go ahead and do this. I'll save. Actually, I want to save as, and for now, I'm just going to save it to my desktop. Let's minimize everything. Minimize. And here it is on my desktop. Let me right click, extract all, extract. Okay, and it's got some subfolders, vintage wallpaper, and there it is. It's a PNG file. So what I'm going to do is I've got my images folder open local, or for my working folder. I'm going to take this vintage wallpaper, drag it over there, vintage wallpaper.png. In fact, I'm going to rename it. I'm going to get rid of the vintage part. I'm just going to call it wallpaper, but it's wallpaper.png, a relatively popular image format. Maybe not as popular as JPG, but pretty darn good. High quality format. So wallpaper.png, all lowercase, no space is good. Now there is a little README file. Let me see what's on the README text. This pattern is downloaded from Subtle Patterns. If you need more, oh, okay. I just wanted to see if there was any licensing information, but it looks like it's free to use, so that's cool. All right. Now let me apply this. So what I'm going to do is, let me tinker with my index page. So let me show you what my index page looks like right now. Where is, that is it right there. Okay. And let's start to style this up a bit. So a couple things that I've got going on here. Remember, I've already got these link tags. I got this from Google Fonts for my cool font. So I'm going to kind of just ignore it for a moment. And I'm going to go to the body of my page and background image URL. No, wait. Yeah, this is fine. Images / wallpaper.png. There we go. So just by doing that, I'm going to have this textured classic wallpaper on there, that dark color on there. So kind of like that. Of course, now it makes my text really tough to read. So let's see. Let me head over here. In addition to this, I'll change the foreground color to sandy brown. So now the text starts to pop out a little bit more. I don't know if I care for that so much, so I'm going to change it to EEE, which is a really light shade of a gray, almost white. Yeah, I like that better. Nice. Okay, now for my headline 1, I'm actually going to make that yellow. So I'm going to do foreground color is color, text color. I'll do FFC, which is a light shade of yellow. There we go, got that light shade of yellow on there. I don't know if I care for that font too much, but I'm going to keep it for now. I'm going to change the font size. I'm going to do, let's try 2 M's, see how that looks. Is that any different? Nope, that's probably what it already was. So let me change it to like 3 M's. There we go. I like that a little better. Remember, I am zoomed in on this, so things are going to seem even bigger than normal. So if this was just 100%. Yeah, so I'm happy with that font size. Don't care for the font so much anymore, but I'm still going to keep it. And then I need to make sure my hyperlink colors are easy to read. So all of my hyperlinks color, I'll do FFF, which is bright white. And in fact, font weight bold, I'll do white and bold on those. So my hyperlinks will be a little bit different there. And in fact, on the body of my page, font family Verdana. Change out that font. Cool, it's got my name there. Now, I want to style my name a little different. Now, my name is simply a paragraph, and there's a chance that I could have other paragraphs on this page. So I want to format this paragraph a little different. Good news is this paragraph is adjacent to to my heading 1. That makes it special, which means I can go to my styling and I can type something like this, H1 plus P, which means the paragraph that's adjacent to my heading 1. And I'm going to do a text align center. And that's going to center that paragraph name right there. And I'll do font size 2.5 ems, make it nice and big. There we go, I like that. I'm going to do a margin top of -10 pixels. That's going to push it closer. I'm going to go even further. What if I did -15 pixels? There, I want it to be a little bit closer to that headline 1, and I want it to be more subtle, so check this out. I'm going to do the color of my paragraph is going to be #456. You're hardly going to be able to see it because this color is also going to be dark. So really tough to see on there, right? In fact, if I did something like this, 229, that's too bright. What if I did 224, 226? There we go. Now it's even tougher to see. It's closer to that shade of blue. But that's all right. I'm going to leave it like that. But instead, I'm also going to put in a text shadow, 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 3 pixels, and then I'll do something like orange. Ooh, what about yellow-green? Yellow-green. So then there'd be a slight little outline on that text. I'm going to change this out to 8 pixels. That's the blurriness of that shadow. There we go. So it's a little subtle, but still visible. I'm happy with that. Now for my navigation menu. So for my nav on here, background color 222, that's really dark gray. And that's just going to make this dark bar for that. Happy with that. Adding 20 pixels, give it some cushion. Cool. I like that. That's going to be my navigation menu. And then I'm going to do this. Nav space A. That's different than the plus sign. There's a space in there. Nav space A. I'm going to explain more about what that's doing, I think, in another class. But let's see. I'm going to put a big margin. Ooh, what do I want to do here? Oops, I undid too much. Let's see. I'm going to do padding right. Let me try margin right first. Something big. 3 ems. All right, that is doing what I want. Good. I can dig it. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a good homepage. Now let me look at my About Me page. That's pretty boring looking. So here's what I can do on the About Me page. I can take all of my styles from About Me, or from my index. I'm just copying from the opening and closing style tags. I'm going to copy that and go to the About page and paste. I know I'm doing some copy and pasting, but I just want to see that work. Now, of course, the other thing I need is my link tags. These are for my Google fonts to get that fuzzy weird font. So let me copy those link tags, paste them right there. I'm going to go to my hobby page, paste those link tags in there. That's good. I'll just indent them all the same. Oh, let me go and get those styles moved over too. So I'm going to get all these styles, opening and closing style tags included over the hobby page. Cut, copy, paste, pop that in. Let's see how these are looking. Oh, so this is my About Me page. All right, I can fine with that. Go back home. Here's my hobby chest page. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Now on my chest page, I've got that nav on there with home page. But on my About Me page, oh, I do have it. I've got it there too. I've got the nav with the home page. Yeah, that seems fine to me. I think it's a pretty good first homework assignment. We've got several web pages in. We've clearly put in some headings and some text. If you don't have any styling, that's fine. I'm not looking for a bunch of styling on there. but we've even got a little navigation menu going on. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. Let me click on these links, make sure these work. This should take me to the Deschutes library. Looks like it's working. Go back. And this other one should take me to chess.com. That's working. Cool. Let me go back. Yeah. Okay, let's publish. So I'm going to go into Win SCP. I'm going to log in using the information I did yesterday. Okay, now always before you publish, make sure you're in that right spot, okay? So when you first log in, depending on how you saved your work, you might be in this area here. So I need to be in my main root folder for sure. Now remember, I've added a little bit of extra complexity to mine that you probably don't have in yours. So this is where you would do your publishing, right here in this main root folder, your 95.dev folder. However, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I'm going to go into my CIS 195 folder. That way I can keep it separate from my other class. And I want to publish right in here. So here's something I can do. I can take all of these, I just selected all 3 files in those folders, and I can just drag them right over. And then things that need to get replaced will get replaced. I'm going to, let it prompt me. That's fine. Now, pretty soon that's going to be inefficient. In theory, you should only update, upload, publish the files that are new or that you've modified. There's no need to keep republishing the same files that you've done before. So when you start to get 30, 40, 50 files, it would be silly to publish everything if you've only been working on 3 new things. So we would only publish the new stuff. And when it comes to that, what I'll often do is I'll sort by the change date. I just click on that sort and I'll see what's the latest and greatest, and then I'll just drag those into the appropriate folders. However, if I go into my images folder on the server on the right side, I'm going to see that my wallpaper picture is there. That's good. And I've got my taps picture and my slug picture from the other day. And my styles folder is still empty. I haven't done anything official in my styles folder, but got my 3 web pages, which means if I go to a browser tab and go to my site, rrphillips.95.dev, I come to this first page. This is my kind of page to route people in. So if you're in my JavaScript class, then you're going to click on this and you'll be able to see my JavaScript pages. So there's the link to assignment 1 web page that we were working on. I did most of it, not all of it. So we can click on that, change background colors. That's pretty fun. And then you can click on my picture and changes it out to the chameleon. Cool, I like that. Let me head back out to this main directory page. I'm gonna go to my 195 page now. And look at that. There's the page that I was just working on. And this is online and live. So I can see this. I can click on my About Me page, read a little bit on there, go back to my home page, go to my hobby chess page. Looks good. All right. And back to my home page. Excellent. So thanks for hanging out with me. Let's see, it's about 11:10. Can't remember what my official office hours are supposed to be. Let's find out. Oh, there we go. So I'm right there. I dropped my car off earlier for some Ford Transit recall thing. So hopefully I'll be able to pick that up later on. But otherwise, yeah, so my office hours are still going on. So I will be keeping Zoom connected, even though I might turn off the recorder at this point. So I'll go ahead and turn off the recorder and start to process that, and I'll share that. It'll probably be unlisted because there's probably some music coming in and that's tricky. It's weird. Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. Yeah, so that's cool. So I'm going to be hanging out here at work, and I need to get some grading looked at for this first participation activities and start to clean up grade books, grade views and on Blackboard. But I'll be hanging out if anybody signs in to chat me up. Talk to you later.